We got the pin situation figured out. I'm pretty sure that's where it's going to go. Unfortunately, the tank that I had is on its way back to Wisconsin, Kenosha, wherever it is. Anyways, that's on the way back. I got it through eBay, so I was able to send it back. I should get a refund on it. Unfortunately, to get the right tank, because that was definitely a Gs550 tank, to get the right tank, all the ones I've seen that are restorable are 2 to 3 times what I paid for that one. So I'll have to kind of find something. I might keep looking before I buy anything, but we want the right tank on there. But there's one more thing I had to do on this bike, and you guys have gotten some glimpses of them. Wheels. I had to get rid of those ugly mag wheels. I had a 16-inch back wheel and 19 front, which helped give it that raked chopper look that I really don't like. So now I have wheels from a 78 Gs550E spoke wheels. It's an 18 rear, 19 front, and they're real close in size. It gives me the look that I want. These are in really good shape. They need to be trued up a little bit. They're restorable, but I wasn't sure. It didn't have the hubs or the brake plate or anything on the rear wheel, rotor on the front. I wasn't sure if they would fit with the spacers that I have, the hub for the chain sprocket, the rear brake. It's a drum brake on these, but that's from the mag wheels. They fit right in there, and it doesn't look bad. And the tires really aren't that bad. I don't know how old they are. I can't see date code, but I can't read the name. They're Japanese, so they're fairly new. They're probably not bad tires, but I don't mind the look. I don't really like the tread on the front one, but I wish I still had that tank just to kind of get a visual. But now we can kind of see what I'm going for. Just a classic, sort of a cafe. I'll have a flat seat on there. I'm not going to do the cafe cowl, I don't think, and I may change the bars to clip-ons. I bought these bars for my last bike and never put them on, but I put them up for sale with the bike, and the guy that bought the bike didn't want them. So I said, well, I'll put them on the next one, and I put them on here because I had them. I'm not sure I like the look, but I might do clip-ons on this or just something different. This is really just a mock-up, but everything worked. Even the front brake rotor from the mag fits. The caliper clears the spokes. I was worried about that. The spacers are all the same apparently, so it all worked out pretty good. Like I said, this is a mock-up. As we build this bike, all this will come apart and be restored, cleaned. All the chrome will be cleaned and polished. The aluminum will be maybe not so polished, but it'll be bright. It'll have a good clean look. I may even get rid of this panel here, depending on what the lower triple clamp looks like. Just have a nice classic, clean, good looking little cafe. So we're on the right direction. I still got to work on the engine, but like I said before, some things you have to jump on. I'm not going wrong here. What I've got in it so far, yeah, I've got money in it now, but it's still worth more than that. I do want to get the engine running, so I got to get it apart and finish assessing that and seeing what all we need to make sure there's nothing wrong in the end with the engine. I'm hoping the transmission and everything is okay in there. I will take it apart and make sure, but if it needs it, it'll get it, unless it's just total junk. But even that, I can get a 550 engine, 650 engine pretty cheap. When you can find them, they're not that expensive. So in the long run, I don't think I'm going to lose my ass on this, even if I do sell it. So I don't think I'm doing the wrong thing by getting parts without knowing if we're going to get the engine running. I think we're safe still, even with the tank. But really, you know, I just wanted to jump on some of the higher priced items. The wheels, the tank, I have to find a different one. The seat will be the third one. I'm not just going to eBay a seat by any means. It's going to be something custom made, or some tough side if I can find one that fits. And they still custom make them when you order them from Tough Side. I don't know if they make them for a Gs550. They didn't make them for the KZ1000 I had either, but I took some measurements of the frame and compared measurements to their seats. They build them more for the Hondas and stuff like that, and I found one that would work pretty close on the KZ with some modification to the frame, which I did, and it looked fine. This is even easier because that is flat, and if I use a flat seat, the only thing I have to worry about is the width and the shape, you know, where it kicks in here. I think they're 23-inch flat seat. I'll have to measure again, look at their measurements. I think it'll be okay on there. We'll have to, you know, cut the tail off and hoop it, but I'll wait till I have a tank and a seat so we know where to cut it off, where to hoop it. But I think that'll work. So those are three high-priced, they're not even that high, but the higher priced items that I want to knock out. The rest of it, I mean, everything that I need to do to this, even in the engine, other than if I needed a, you know, a top end for a 650, the pistons and everything. You know, if that's the case, that might cost a little something, but every little thing, if I needed to get a new gasket set for this, to get it back together, rings even pistons, we're looking at anywhere from, you know, $30 to $100 at a time. Most of it would be 30 to 50 bucks, and you know, you do a little at a time until you have something, and that's how I've always done things. Eventually you have something cool. So that being said, I don't think we're doing anything wrong by moving forward, skipping a few steps, and getting items for the bike itself and not the engine. So that's going to do it. I'm going to cut it there, and we'll see you guys next time. One more thing, just to try to justify buying the wheels. These mags, some people like them. I don't know why, but to each their own. But you know, of course, I'm going to clean these up and list them for sale, and hopefully sell them and kind of recoup some of the price of the spoke wheels. So that helps too.